I may not be as fast as a musket ball or even a cannonball, but at least I get to experience the impact. Kaboom. I'm at my uncle's house now, so I'm at family. I can relax, plan my next stops, eat exceptionally well. So it's a good environment for me to experiment and figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of this trip. I'm in Oklahoma City now, but next stop is Texas. Okay, I'm trying something new here. I've covered the whole car here. I'm charging pretty much full on solar. It's 86 degrees outside. I'm curious if I got in a scenario where I had to hide out in the car because of the heat or the weather, what would it be like? So this is it. We'll see. So I want to know how much power it takes to run AC in the sun with the shade covering the car. So I let it sit for about 40 minutes running AC, kind of let it normalize out. There's a huge draw when it's first pulling the temperature down, but then it reaches a steady state. So it looks like I'm at about steady state, and I've got 4 hours and 10 minutes remaining to charge. I'm charging at 21 amps and 240 volts. So the question is, how much power is my air conditioning pulling? So what I did was I got a screenshot or took a picture, and then I turned the AC off and I looked at my remaining charge time. It went from 4 hours and 10 minutes to 3 hours and 30 minutes. So it's an extra 40 minutes of charge time. Now we know that charges slows down a lot at the end. So at the end of both of these curves, whether AC is on or off, it's going to slow down substantially. But assuming those curves are relatively the same, they'll be a little different. I can think of all this extra power as being used up front. So it's adding a full 40 minutes at 5 kilowatts. So 40 minutes is 2/3 of 1 hour. So 2/3 of 5,000 is 3,300 watts. And that's going to be used over the course of 4 hours and 20 minutes. So I take that total power, 3,300, divided by 4 hours, or 4.1666 hours, and I come up with 806 watts. So that's approximately how much power the air conditioning system is drawing. And I can check those numbers with a little less resolution by looking at my miles per hour. So I started off at 15 miles per hour, and I ended up at 19 miles per hour when I turned the AC off. So that means the AC is consuming 4 miles per hour. Not particularly useful unit, but based on this car having 325 miles at full charge, according to the indicator here, that means I'm using 4 out of 325, which is 1.2% of the total battery. And if I look at that as a percent of the pack capacity of 75,000 watts, 1.2% of that is 923. So then I come up with 923 watts. So they're about the same, pretty similar. Good enough for me. I just say 1 kilowatt or less once it's reached steady state. Temperature being 88 outside and climate control set to a very comfortable 68 while watching Netflix. So is it worth it? In most cases, yes. In this case, absolutely not. I cannot afford 1 kilowatt draw while I'm charging it, 4 to 6, peak 6 during the day, and sometimes as low as 2 or 3. So I'll leave it off for the rest of this trip, unless I really, really needed it. Once I was all settled in, we got to go down to base camp, watch for some deer. Apparently they come out down here by the fence. There's some grain out there for them. Should attract them. And before they came out, the sun was kind of setting. A hawk came out, poked around a little bit, probably looking for some rodents that were also looking for the grain. It didn't find much, so it flew off. And then as the sun set, the deer did start coming out. The camera was able to pick it up at night and got pretty good shots, even though it looks like it's dusk, but the sun had completely set by the time these pictures were taken. So it was kind of cool just watching them come out, real quiet. And then that was it. They went as quick as they came. And of course, I didn't leave without shooting the musket. It was pretty cool. Not nearly as sharp as a modern gun, just kind of a slow kaboom as it goes off. I got to fire it about 5 times. It was a lot heavier than I thought. It's not like a traditional gun where you can hold it out with no problem. It takes some effort holding this big barrel out there. But I got off 5 rounds. There's the target. A little piece of tape there was the target, and it was about 35 yards out. So I guess it's pretty good for my first time shooting one of these guns. I didn't take too many pictures being at my uncle's house, keep his location secure, but I did get to hear some cool stories about my grandfather, who was a surgeon in Sierra Leone and South Africa, worked there for the church as a missionary, and he did hunt, although I've never hunted some big game there. Here's some pictures, and here he is in the operating room. I don't know what he's doing, but it's way above my head. He's doing something. It was quite a while ago. Anyhow, that's it for this trip. So I got up to 91%, which was plenty of buffer to get to my next stop. There's no point in waiting around a whole nother day to get 9% charge. Although you know how in high school and college you're always emphasizing to pay attention to units. I'm usually pretty good about that. You can get mixed up real quick if you have the wrong units. Well, I'm about to learn that lesson tomorrow, but not today.